Welcome, I'm Darren, and I'll be your guide today as I rank the worst insert rookie card designs for 1993. So for 1993, rookies were in an area of transition where this was the fifth year that we had draft pick rookies. And card companies, some of the card companies were getting comfortable or were comfortable enough with rookies that they were just inserting them into their sets, in some cases, like with Fleer in basketball, without any acknowledgement at all that they're rookies. Just, yep, here they are. And it's unfortunate to lose the excitement of this is the next crop of great players. You really do want to celebrate that if you can. And so in some cases they were leaving that to the insert sets to really do something special, and then in the main sets they were doing something where maybe they'd have a rookie flag, maybe they wouldn't. And so that means that rookie cards for the insert sets were becoming a lot more common. And in this case, I pulled aside 18 card sets where I felt that these fit for insert sets that are about rookie cards. That's what the whole idea is. It is a card designed specifically to celebrate a rookie in insert form. So that's where we were seeing a lot more of these rookies being really celebrated. And because there are 18 that I pulled aside, it's a very simple 9 and 9. 9 best of, 9 worst of. And in this case, I do feel that the worst of really are cards that are underachieving at best and failure at worst. So that's what I'm looking at here with this list. And where we start, obviously, is a card that is almost a good card. It's really close. It's just not quite there because it's an underwhelming card, and that's the Upper Deck Rookie Sensations. And Rookie Sensations is something we're going to get a little bit familiar with here on this list. So, the problem with this card is that this is a great looking card, only it's not, because it's boring. There's almost nothing going on. In fact, this card looks like a subset card, in part because it's basically the same design as subset cards that they had in their sets. Whenever I see this card, I always assume that it's just another card in the set, because it seems that way, except for the logo. That really, really cool logo is the only thing that, obviously the card number on the back very much distinguishes it, but that logo is the only thing that makes you realize it's not a part of the set. Otherwise, it's a full bleed card with the player doesn't really stand out on the card. It just doesn't do anything special. You line these cards up, the cards don't stand out. There's nothing cohesive about the cards. They're just kind of there. But that logo is amazing. It's so amazing. But on top of that, this is a card that for me always feels like a new discovery. It's like if you have a card collection for 20, 30 years, and then you discover that some of your cards might be some special variation. You go back and you look and you go, that's so cool, I never knew it was here. That's kind of what these cards are like. They feel to me like they're just normal cards until I realize, oh no, they're special, which is not an actual discovery, but that's the feeling that I get, which means this is a card that gets me excited, at least a little bit. And that's the reason I have it here as my fourth honorable mention. And then at number 3, I have the Power Play, which is hockey. The Power Play, well, Rookie Sensations. What else to go with? And in this case, this is a card that should not work. It is a really dumb design. Some floating text, the background is not treated very well. It's kind of gritty. And yet it all works really well. And it comes down to the fact that the background is treated with a bit of a color themed around the team, but it's done enough so that the player is still very strong, very vibrant, comes right out. And then the text is actually readable because of it, which means that the card does all the things it needs to do. I do wish that it wasn't a gritty background. In fact, that's the only thing that I don't like about this card. Otherwise, I look at this card and go, no, not bad. That's my attitude about it. It's not bad. It's not great. It's, almost good. But it is a card that is successful enough, even though it absolutely shouldn't. And that's enough on this list to put it here at basically at number 8. And then the next one is the NBA Hoops Magic's All-Rookie Team, which is interesting because it is an all-rookie team of players who haven't played in the NBA yet. This is a card set that is the best designed card. It actually does look better than anything else. The problem is that it suffers from some of the same problems of the Upper Deck Rookie Sensations cards of, full bleed image. The pictures do tend to stand out better for the Magic's All-Rookie Team cards. The problem is that down at the bottom, that gold band just usually kind of disappears, so it doesn't stand out. The logo isn't flashy, so this card ends up in the same category as Rookie Sensations of it's an afterthought card, it's overlooked. And how much so? When I did this video, or when I did the video for the 93-94 NBA Hoops set, which was, 5 months ago, I guess, that was the first time I ever had one of these cards. This is a card set, the 93-94 Upper Deck or NBA Hoops set. I have every single card from the set, except this set, and I never got any of them until I was preparing that video, like to within a week was when I finally got it, because even when preparing the videos, I kept forgetting about it, overlooking it, until I'm going, wait, I absolutely need this, and I was able to get one very quickly, which was good. But that's the thing, it is such a forgettable card. It's well made, it looks nice, but it's forgettable, and that's just not good. But, and the last card that I'm doing for the honorable mentions is the Fleer Football Prospects cards. And this is a card that I'm glad it's not in the bottom 5. I had it there for a while, but I had to pull it out because the card it's a really, really, really nicely designed card. Fleer, interestingly, in 1993, they tended to have really mediocre card designs, except in football. But the inserts were really good, and especially with this Prospects card, you get to see the real design strength that they have. The card, the plaque on the inside, is the gold color of it, I'm not a big fan of. If this was themed for the Fighting Irish, then this would be a lot better. But the overall design, I understand what they were going for. I think it's a little bit much, but it's overall a pretty nice color. It's just, it doesn't have the kind of draw that I'd like to have. But the band around the outside, which is a light blue, almost a periwinkle, gorgeous look. And that's what makes this card exciting for me. Every time I look at it, I go, okay, yeah, that's kind of nice. But, the players are in their college uniform. Look, if this was a college set, if this was classic, I go, hey, that's a really nice classic card. But it's not. These are pro cards. Show me that. Even if you were going to leave the logo, the uniform from his college days, put the Rams logo behind. Do something to help me feel like he's in the NFL now. That's what I want to feel, and that's always a problem. But the cards are so they're so well designed. They look so nice. I can't get past that. I really do like these cards, begrudgingly. I hate liking these cards, but yeah, they're good enough. So yeah, here I have, this is the last of the cards outside of the top 5 or bottom 5, and now we start into the bottom 5. And at number 5, I've got the Pro Set Rookie Insert Sets. And the reason I say that is they have a number of different sets for different categories for rookies, and they all suffer from the same problem. It really does help you to understand why Pro Set just couldn't keep surviving. I mean, obviously there were the legal, or the, not legal, but the financial struggles. But in order to really capture the audience, Pro Set was having a tough time figuring out this card thing. Pro Set Power they got. That was a really good set. But Pro Set proper, it was always kind of a half step behind the other companies. And because they'd lost their brand recognition, they needed to earn it back. And when you look at these inserts, because all of the inserts for this set were done this way, I mean, seriously, Prism on the surface, in 92, okay, I could understand that. But in 93, it's too garish. It's too much. The card industry was changing so fast that you really had to be on top of it. And it's a shame because the cards are gorgeous. I love the fake rock treatment for the band on the side. The seeming raised text is not actually raised, but that's the design theme. The way that looks, the colors are really nice. And if they didn't have the prism surface on it, the way that it would work with the rest of the card would actually work a lot better. It's just that the prism, it overpowers everything and it blurs it together and it ruins all of the really nice things the Pro Set was doing. If they'd just done a little bit better design work as opposed to trying to be all flashy and exciting, they could have really made a pretty good step back into the hobby. But they didn't do that. And unfortunately, that's the case. These cards, they're otherwise nice, but my word, why did you stick all of that prism on there? It's just not a good choice. So that's my number 5. And then at number 4, I go with a hockey set, which is the Leaf Gold Leaf Rookies. And this is a card that is a mess, an absolute mess. But I acknowledge it's a nice looking card. The whole card is designed around that gold leaf text in the middle. But boy, that rookie text on the side with the red, it is screaming for you to pay attention to it. It absolutely needs to steal the show. And the battle between the two makes kind of an intriguing quality on the card. And then even the number at the bottom, 92, 93, even that text is, it reads pretty well. The only thing that doesn't read well is the player who's stuffed off on the side. And that's what's weird about this card is so busy trying to be a flashy card that the player doesn't even show up. In fact, his name isn't even on this card. And yet it is. You just got to look below the Leaf logo and if you work really hard, you'll find that his name is on it. Here's what's weird. It's not a good idea to not have a player's name on the front. You can kind of get away with it like you saw in Pro Line and Pro Set Platinum, sort of. It's tough to make it work. But when you have the name on the front and you can't read the name of the player, then there's kind of that what's the whole point of this card concept with this card. Now, it's not this way all the time, but for the most part, yeah, the card is doing all the wrong things and the right things aren't really happening well enough. Because look, aren't we supposed to be excited about this rookie coming up? And yet he is shoved to the side almost like the card's trying to get him off so it can be busy being a card. So yeah, so that's what I have at number 4. Now at number 3, I have Wild Card Red Hot Rookies. And this is one that it's pretty tough for me because in 1992, Red Hot Rookies, they really weren't all that bad. In fact, for the cards where they had the player in their pro uniforms, the card design, Wild Card was always funky with their designs. There was a very particular look and feel that Wild Card cards had. You had to kind of get into that groove, but once you did, the cards were pretty nice. In 1993, they just used the same design, so now it's starting to get kind of old. And college uniforms, guys, you know how I feel about college uniforms, and yet here we are stuck with more college uniforms. It's not a good combination. Look, I'm a Bears fan. Now, Will Ferrell, okay, I'm not going to be super excited about him, but Curtis Conway, I want to be super excited about this card, and yet I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, so I need to get the Curtis Conway card to get it out of the way, get it on the checklist. That's the feel. Just come on, do something special with these cards, and that's what they didn't do. Here, they did do it with another set, which is obviously not on this list, but for these cards, come on, you're just rehashing what was done before, and you're not even doing it as well. So, could be doing better. So at number 2, I have Skybox Primetime Rookies. And the Primetime Rookies is, in the main set, the cards were good enough. The cards in the main set, at least they did have a nice look to them. But with the Primetime Rookies, they covered the card, almost the entire card, with chrome. Not good. Chrome is just so tough to make work. And in this case, it took all the strengths of the regular set cards and it gets rid of them. And it leaves me with a card where every time I look at it, I go, that's the best you could do? That's my attitude about it. That's the best you could do. I'm really not a fan of that. I'd like to be a lot more positive about it, but I can't even really think of anything else to say about it. It's such a disappointment to me. But at least it does have some nice qualities on it that does help kind of buoy it up. Because at number 1, the Jam Session, What Else, Rookie Sensations cards Here's where I see just an absolute disappointment. And it's not because of the design itself. I really like the overall design. This might be the best insert design for 1993-94 Jam Session. I mean, the background effect is really cool. It reads really strong. The logo is good enough. The stance of the player is great. I mean, he is very clearly the whole point of the card, and I'm excited to see this next crop of players. The only problem is they airbrushed the jerseys to make them look almost pro. But look, if you're not going to use the college uniforms, but you're going to airbrush it, put a number on it. Because if you put a number on it, now it feels like an actual jersey. This doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel right. It feels like somebody is trying to dodge making payments to the NBA, which is stupid because this card set is the NBA. What they couldn't use is the college uniforms. So if they had the college uniforms and they airbrushed them, they'd look stupid, but at least they kind of make sense. Here, it looks like a company that doesn't even have the rights to make NBA cards that's trying to get away with it anyway. Which, okay, nowadays in the 2020s, then this kind of design people probably wouldn't even notice. But for the 1990s, it just looks terrible. And they did it again in 94 as well. It's just such a disappointment. Put a number on it, guys. Just put a number on it. It'll make it so much better. What number? Just use the one on the college uniform. That's what I don't care. But this looks terrible. And that brings it all to a close. So to me, those are the worst insert card designs for rookies in 1993. And I can always shift this list around. I mean, every one of these cards has some strengths and some weaknesses compared to the cards around it. So it can easily shift around, and I wouldn't be surprised if people just looked at it and said, no, it's flipped around would be ridiculous, but shuffled around, I absolutely get that. So if you do feel that the list needs to be abridged, definitely let me know in the comments below your take on them. If there's another insert rookie that you feel should have been on the list, or however you want to do it, definitely do so. I'll be doing the best of in the next video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And yeah, thank you very much for watching.